One thing I had to learn was that reacting fast doesn't make you look strong. It really makes you look weak. Like trying to jump the gun and get something before someone else, or let somebody know that you're not the one to play with, or just beating them to the punch on whatever it is, or just reacting fast on the action of somebody testing your boundaries instead of processing those things. It really is a weak thing that you can do. And once I learned that, I realized I could start to unlock things. But you already know what I'm finna say. Let's grab a drink, let's have a seat, and we can unpack this. Ooh-wee. This should be a fun one. Got the Jack Daniels out tonight, some strong stuff, boy. You know? So, once again, tablet here, bullet points, helping me stay on track, because I like to talk. I really like to talk, you know? But anywho, let's pour up. Cheers. This is a pretty high proof one, so I had to put an ice cube on it, so bear with me. So, a lot of it is just ego. I mean, let's just be real with it. A lot of it is ego, lack of emotions, not understanding what you got going on, and just thinking that you have to be first. It's that me first mentality. And I guess I felt like that because of, I'm was growing up, I seen a lot of kids come to school with the brand new clothes, the brand new Jordans and stuff like that. They were like the first ones to get it. They bragged about it. You know what I'm saying? You even heard it in the music back in the day. Nobody ain't got these. I'm the first one out with it. All that crazy stuff. So that made me feel like I needed to be the one to jump and be the first one to have it. And it didn't make any sense once I was the first one who finally got the stuff, right? Because my parents were smart. They didn't buy us any of these crazy name brand clothes and shoes when we were still growing. They focused on what was the most practical thing in the household, which was shoes. I mean, which was food, sorry. Which was food, bills, and, giving us more so our needs versus our wants, and then whatever our wants was that really gained value for us and for us as a family as well, then that's what they bought us. So shoes and clothes wasn't a thing. But also, I was a little scrawny, skinny kid as well too. So people felt the need to, try to pick on me. So I had to be the one to be the first to get back on them before they get on me. So I had to be quick on my toes and be clever with some of the things that I may say and do. And it just constantly made me run through this unfiltered system. I just said the first thing that came to my mind and had no filter. And sometimes I still don't have my filter when I'm just activated and being me. When I'm around people that I care about, or just, got my guard down, that no filter is right there. And I will say some off the wall shit, and then I'll be like, ooh, I probably should have kept that inside thought on the inside and don't put the outside thought out there. But that's just one of the things that I had to learn, you know, going through the phases that I went through as trying to become a professional power lifter, bodybuilder, or just a personal trainer made me realize that you got to be able to filter some of these things. Like, right now I'm overweight, but back in the day I was in shape, and I'm trying to get back in shape right now as we speak. But one of the things that I had to learn is if somebody is struggling with their weight, not to tell them they was fat, tell them that there's things that we can work around. Like, yes, you may be overweight, but we can get you into the desired shape that you need to be. And that's how I had to learn to be a little bit more polished. I just can't tell somebody, like lay off the fucking cupcakes, Tubby. I couldn't say that, right? So I had to be more softer or give my delivery a little bit better. And when I built time with my clients, then I can start to, have that no filter, no BS attitude with them. Like, why are you lying? I saw your ass at the fucking McDonald's drive-thru earlier. Even though I didn't, but I would say that, and they be like, "Yeah, how you know?" Or they be like, "Man, stop playing with me." But I did have McDonald's for dinner last night, so it'd be things of that nature where it allowed me to be more understanding and being more real with my clients and whatnot. So one of the things that helped me realize that not reacting fast was a weakness was that I started to lose a lot of myself and things that I didn't realize, like strength with my family. Like I was losing a lot of their attention because I was constantly reacting fast and they felt like I was just doing things and not taking their feelings under consideration. So I'm like, no, 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 no. I think that this is what you finna say, but I'm not listening to what they gotta say. I cut them off like, so you want me to do this and this and this and this, and they're like, no, it's the opposite, motherfucker. Will you just sit down and just listen to me? So I just didn't listen to nothing that nobody had to say, and you can't move in this world if you're going to be a good communicator, especially with your friends or your family or your loved one, like somebody that you're dating. You're not listening to them, and I was not listening to nobody because I was beating off the beat of my own drum at that point, right? And it didn't make any sense. I was losing a lot of personal relationships that caused a lot of pain that I didn't realize, you know? And it's very disrespectful to just rush to think something before you actually having the full detail of everything that is going on, right? I'm not giving people the time to fully tell me how they feel, and I'm just jumping the gun. That's mad disrespectful. I didn't like it when people did it to me, and I don't want somebody to do it to me. So what made me feel like it was okay to do it to somebody else? And I think it's because it was the full instant gratification, you know, of just knowing that you can get something right away and at the palm of your hands. So I guess I got used to the feeling of being rewarded on doing something right and didn't take a lot for me to process. Once I got that first, oh, that was pretty good. You didn't even need me to tell you everything. I instantly felt the love with that dopamine of being rewarded for doing something good and confused that with everything else and not realize that it was probably good for a school setting of like a math problem or uh, reading comprehension thing or whatever it may be, but it wasn't good for my personal relationships, my business relationships, for myself as well, right? My reputation. Like nobody wants to go around to be that guy who like, oh, he's cool, but he don't listen. He rushes into things. He has no filter. He not listening to, he's just doing Lord knows what. And we struggle with a lot of that, with the identity of trying to be there first or getting it done first or whatnot. But when you do that, you lead into a lot of mistakes, especially when you at work, right? So let's say it's a Friday and You normally leave work at 3 o'clock, and a job comes in right at 1, and you've been waiting for this job since you got into work, and you knew that you had plans right when you got into work. You knew that you wanted to go somewhere and be off of work exactly at 3. You bought a change of clothes. You already knew, well, at 3 you was gonna leave and go do these plans. And that job come in at 1, and that job normally takes you about 4 to 5 hours. So that's why you wanted it on your desk, ready to go right away. So now you rush it. Even though you've done this job on multiple times, and you try to figure out like, well, is there an old template of me using this or doing this old job? And you go back and looking at those old files and you find it, and then you like, oh yeah, these are about the same. And then you just copy and paste things over, and then boom, you're done less than the 3 o'clock, and you send it out, and then you realize, oh, well, they wanted this and this different from this time than they was the last time. So it's quite not the same. Oh, well, I deal with it on Monday, and then when you show up at work on Monday, it get back to your boss that you cut corners, and now that's something that you have to answer for. Is that something that you want to be known for, as the person who likes to cut corners and rushing it into things and not doing things the right way? I don't think no man wants to do that, you know? So the biggest takeaway that I've found out that rushing into things and not having the filter, it shows that you have no insecurity in yourself. It shows that you have lack of discipline in yourself. And it shows that you rate yourself more higher than others. And in certain cases, that's good. But in most cases in your relationships, far as work, family, and, your overall, persona, that's not good, because you want people to be able to trust in you and to confide in you, and for you to be able to give them sound and solid advice. So I had to learn to slow it down. Take in what people are saying. Think about it. Respond accordingly, and making it happen for my family and for myself. You don't want to be the one who thinking that he knows it all, but at the end of the day, you don't know a damn thing, and people talking shit behind your back. So let me ask you this. Leave it down in the comment. Do you believe, is it okay to rush through things and take the outcome for the outcome, or whatever it may be? Or do you believe it's okay to take your time, think things through, and give an appropriate response to what you got going on? Until then, much love.